let's be real, mainstream manifestation does sound like a scam. Just think positive thoughts and you'll get what you want. Yeah, that's not the full story. Hello. My name is Jess and I welcome you back to the forest. Today we're talking about mainstream manifestation and what it gets right and what it gets wrong, and the part that finally actually made it make sense for me. So we're jumping right in. We're starting with what it gets wrong. We have 5 common misconceptions. So misconception number 1 is that manifestation is just thinking positive. This is a totally gross simplification of the entire process. It takes away from the truth that you don't manifest with your thoughts. You manifest with your emotions. And this is where a lot of people say that it's just wishful thinking, and that's really one of the biggest skeptic comments is it's just wishful thinking. And it does sound like that. If you're just saying, just think positive and the universe will just give it to you, because there's a lot more to it than that. The law of attraction is really about emotional tuning and not mental pretending. And it's really easy to think positive things, but that does not mean that you're actually feeling anything positive when you're thinking about it, and feeling positivity is what actually makes a difference. Misconception number 2 is that you have to be in high vibes only. I talked about this in my first episode of this series, which you can go watch. The emotional guidance scale exists for a reason. Abraham Hicks' emotional guidance scale, the one that I made, the Feel Better tree, it's there for a reason. You are human and you're not going to feel amazing all the time. Okay? That's just how it is. Real self-growth and real spirituality, it encompasses your full human experience. It doesn't choose chunks and pieces. Spirituality is a full wholeness type of thing, if you get what I mean. So you can't exclude the parts of you that exist, having, negative moments, just because you don't like those parts. You have to incorporate that into your growth and into everything that you do. Those are parts of you that are going to continue to exist, whether you like it or not. And it's not about spending more or all of your time in alignment. It's about learning how you go from bad to good feelings. And that requires you to acknowledge the bad feelings, accept the bad feelings, so that you can learn how to move through them when they do arise. If you spend your time pretending to be in alignment instead of learning to work through those negative feelings, then you're going to ultimately have worse results than just acknowledging that you're having negative feelings and figuring out how to work through them. Misconception number 3, you don't have to take any action. People get so mad about this. Let me tell you, the skeptics really hate this idea that, you don't have to do anything to get what you want. And I agree with them. You do have to do something. If you sit in a padded room, a zebra is not going to show up because you want a zebra to show up. But it's about opening opportunities for yourself and giving the universe a signal to line things up in certain ways so that you are aware of the opportunities, so that you actually notice them and that they're available to you, and then you take inspired action. That's what it's called. When you take action that feels like a nudge from your intuition, something you maybe wouldn't normally do, but it's here, it's right here. I'm just going to do it. That's inspired action, and that's a huge part of the law of attraction. So you can't manifest a zebra to show up in this room with you, but you could manifest avenues, that opportunities and doorways that you could then take inspired action on to bring you to where you could go see a zebra. I don't know. Maybe you're I really want to see a zebra. I'm so excited. I'm going to see a zebra. And then your friend invites you to go to the zoo, or you're given an opportunity to travel somewhere where zebras are. So yeah, you do have to take action. You can't just sit and expect like money to literally physically materialize in your lap, you know? Misconception number 4, everything bad in your life is your fault. I feel this. I feel this one, and a lot of people are really frustrated by this one. And I spent a lot of time researching and looking into this to figure out what exactly is happening, because it's really difficult to take this radical, self-responsible type of perspective on life where literally everything bad that happens to you is your fault, because some things are out of our control. But at the core of the law of attraction, nothing really is out of your control other than what has come to be from your previous energetic state. But the important thing is to know that it was nothing that bad that has happened to you. None of it was your fault. And you didn't deserve any of it. And, you didn't want any of it. And this is where I think that the law of attraction actually becomes this really wonderful thing, because if you understand how you're getting what you're getting, then you can figure out how to get more of what you want and less of what you don't want. If you don't know that you're always manifesting, and if you don't understand how the law of attraction really works, then life ends up being reactionary. And you end up manifesting out of default instead of by design. So for example, if you are driving somewhere and you get into a traffic jam, and then you get frustrated about it because you're reacting to it, then you're putting out that negative vibe and you'll end up getting more negativity back. But if you really deeply understood and believed that the way you feel impacts what you get in the future, then you would probably recognize that, your emotions are a currency that you shouldn't just spend on whatever. You shouldn't waste your emotions on a traffic jam. It's really not worth it. Being late to the thing, whatever the thing is, it's really not worth negatively impacting your internal state, hurting you, hurting ultimately the relationships you have. If you're down, they're going to be affected by it, and hurting your future, So it really ends up being this beautiful reframe, the whole everything is your fault perspective, because it really makes you think about your emotions as currency. You don't need to spend it. No one can force you to spend that currency. You have to choose what you're going to spend that currency on. Good things, bad things, if you're going to allow the world to control how you feel, or if you're going to control how you feel, in which case you can choose to feel great most of the time. Sometimes you can't, like I've said, but most of the time you can choose to feel great, and that's what I prefer. Misconception number 5. You can just fake it till you make it. Now, I'm a big believer in fake it till you make it. I've gotten through a lot of things in my life just faking it until I made it, okay? But as far as this goes, the law of attraction and manifestation, you can't fake it till you make it. People talk about affirmations. They say, I am statements and believe it, believe it, believe it. Yeah, you do have to believe it, but if you can't believe it, whatever it is, then you're causing more harm, okay? So you can't fake it. Have you ever thought to yourself, like, I'm going to say some affirmations, and your affirmation is, I am financially abundant, while you're stressing out about paying for rent? I've done that. Has anyone else done that? Yeah, it doesn't work. So, don't fake it. Don't try to fake like you're in alignment. Don't try to fake like you're happy. If you're gonna feel genuinely good, you have to acknowledge where you are currently at pretty much any point in time. That's like super, super important. Okay. You can't be in denial about your own suffering to overcome your own suffering. And masking is like a super common thing now. Everybody talks about masking, and I want to be clear that that isn't something you should be worried about. Like if you are like masking on a regular basis to be out in public and to just like get by or try to just like make social interactions better, like that's totally fine. Just make sure that under the surface you're still working to improve your state, you know? Like you don't have to be perfect, but like if you got to throw on a mask, just make sure that underneath you're still working on yourself and trying to figure out your emotions and trying to figure out how you get to like a truly happy place. So with that, the best thing you can do is learn about your emotions, learn about yourself, learn about your individual coping skills and mechanisms and what works for you to make you feel better, and bringing yourself to a place of peace and calm. And then prioritizing protecting your peace. My kids, for example, they make messes every single day. They don't miss a beat, every single day they make a mess. If you find yourself getting frustrated by your kids making messes, like, is that worth it? Is it worth it to be upset? Is it worth it to spend your emotional currency on that? Because it's not. It's not worth it to be upset about something that you expect to happen every single day and does happen every single day. It's just like a natural part of life. It's like sometimes it rains. Are you going to be upset about that? I mean, maybe once in a while, when you're on your wedding day, maybe. But in general, no. All right, we are on to part 2, which is what they get right. And I'm not going to lie, it's not very much. But to be fair, they're not completely wrong all the time. But here's a few half-truths that are commonly spoken about. So we're going to give credit number 1. Your emotions are powerful indicators. This is very true. So what they got right is that feelings do matter, and your emotional state influences how you experience life as well as what you get out of life. But what they're missing, which is what we talked about, is it's not just about always being in high vibes. It's about learning to interpret your emotional guidance system. So credit number 2, your focus creates momentum. So what they got right is that whatever you consistently focus on grows, builds momentum, snowballs. But what they're missing is that everything is 2 things. So it depends on where your point of focus comes from. If your point of focus is from stress, anxiety, pressure, fear, whatever the topic it is that you're thinking about, you're really vibrationally putting out the lack of that thing. And if you are coming from ease, peace, joy, excitement, then you're probably putting out an energetic field, I guess, of what it is that you do want. So if you're talking about financial prosperity and you're feeling that stress of rent coming due and you don't have it, you're actually attracting the opposite. You're attracting the lack of financial security. If you're feeling excitement and ease and joy, then you're attracting more of, like, you're attracting the actual thing. So everything is 2 things based on where your focus point is. If you're feeling stress, anxiety, or if you're feeling amazing and incredible. So this is why I keep saying that you're manifesting from your feelings, from your emotional state. Words don't matter. Feelings matter. And credit number 3 is that beliefs do shape reality. What they got right is basically just that beliefs matter and that they matter. What they're missing is that it's not about trying to believe harder or convince yourself of something new. It's really about emotional growth. It's about learning about your emotions, learning about yourself, learning about your coping skills, learning about your limiting beliefs, which are not always front and center. Sometimes you have to dig and find them. But learn about your limiting beliefs and then rewire yourself as much as possible to have better beliefs. One of my favorite quotes is from Esther Hicks, and it says, "A belief is just a thought you keep thinking." And even that's not perfect, because it is a thought you keep thinking, but a belief is a thought you keep thinking with emotional power. So, you can say 1,000 times over that I am physically strong, and you're not going to just believe that, But if you say that with conviction, with power, with excitement, then maybe you find then you take inspired action, go to the gym and this and that. But at the end of the day, we all have these beliefs inside of us that we may or may not even be aware of. And some of them might need to be addressed. Like for myself, for a very long time, I had this victimhood mindset about money. I was very eat the rich, and still, like things aren't good, okay? But I have lessened all of that. I have less resistance to money because I don't see money as evil anymore. And I did for a long time. I just felt jaded and like things were unfair, and some things are unfair, but as I've grown, I have now decided that is something that's not worth my emotional currency. And so then when I decided like this isn't worth me being upset about, or it's out of my control, why am I going to spend my time being upset about it? Then I started to see opportunities to make more money, or to like move up in my job, or even move sideways in my job to an entirely different position that now I work from home and I make a good income. And it's just that these beliefs can really hurt us, and sometimes they're a core part of our identity as well. Like it is a moral value to care about equality in like the terms of money, the super rich and then the ultra poor. It's a core identity value to care about that type of equality. And you don't have to lose that core value to release the limiting belief and release the victimhood and release the pain and the anger. You can release those things and find peace and still maintain that value. You can still know what's right and wrong. You don't have to be angry to care. You can care while being peaceful. So yeah, those are the half-truths that we do get from mainstream manifestation. But now we're going to get to the most important thing, the biggest thing that made a difference when I started to really understand this. The law of attraction is a guidance system. It's not a magic trick. The law of attraction isn't a thing you do. It's a thing that you understand. It's a framework for how reality works. Manifestation isn't a magic trick, a special spiritual gift, or even a practice at all. It's the automatic result of the law of attraction and the way that the universe functions. If the law of attraction were gravity, then manifestation would be the act of falling. It's automatic. It's always going to happen. It's the natural result of gravity. But you get to choose if you're going to fall with a parachute or if you're just going to jump off the highest cliff you can find with no type of protection. If you understand this, you can use the law of attraction deliberately. And if you don't, you're still using it. You're just using it by default. And you will just get more of what you have. And maybe what you have isn't what you like, and that's what you're going to get more of. And this part was really, really important for me to grasp. The law of attraction isn't a thing you do. Manifestation isn't a thing you do. Those are things that just exist and happen, period, point blank. The only thing you can do is improve your emotional state, improve your emotional intelligence, grow as a person, and find peace. It doesn't even matter what you're trying to attract. You get it all the same way, by feeling good. The universe responds to your emotional state. Not the words you say and not the thoughts you think. And this is really important. You aren't manifesting things. You're constantly manifesting emotional mirrors of yourself. Always, at all times. So yeah, you have to feel good, and it's not always easy, and it's really not simple either. I mean, the advice is simple. What you need to do is simple, but getting there, getting to a point where you feel good, that's not simple. The way we live doesn't make it simple. You have to learn how to feel good, which, by the way, go back and watch my video on the Feel Better tree. It's the video with 1.1.1 at the end. You have to learn how to navigate your feelings, your relationships, your work, your trauma, your everything in a way that allows you to cope and come back to feeling good, feeling unbothered, and at peace as much as possible. This series is called LOA grounding for a reason. We're talking about the law of attraction without a bunch of fluff and a bunch of stupid techniques. We're talking about what the law of attraction really is and how to actually practically use it in your life. I'm trying to make it tangible, logical, and clear. It's really not as mystical or magical as people make it out to be. The law of attraction is not like whispering a wish list to the sky. It's a quiet knowing of how the universe works and how to use it to your advantage. It's about improving how to find your peace every single day and allowing that to snowball into the beautiful life that you want and you deserve. So that is today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. And if you want to find your way back to the forest, please subscribe. And if you have anything to say in the comments, please do plant some seeds down there and we will water them and watch them grow. The first episode of this series, it's going to be in the description. And if you really want an opportunity to learn about the law of attraction in a way that is really the depth that is deserved for the topic, I'm also linking below a book by Jerry and Esther Hicks called The Law of Attraction. It's incredible. It is like the book that changed my perspective, changed my life. Honestly, I'm not even kidding you. And the next episode is going to be actually all about Abraham Hicks. There's actually 3 universal laws that work together. And when you understand all 3, that's when that's when the magic happens. After I just told you that this is not magic, but that's when the magic happens. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end, you are amazing. And I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you so much. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.